and today's tutorial is going to be a 4-in-1 tutorial. That means we're going to be showing you how you can sew an A-line gown and also to add a collar to it. The third one is how you can add a pocket tee gown, and the fourth one is how you can add the lining to it. So it's more like you're learning 4 things at a time. You're going to be learning how you can make an A-line gown. You're also going to be learning how you can add a collar to it, and also going to be learning how to put a pocket and a lining to your gown. So please stay tuned to the end of this video, and if this video is useful to you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more wonderful and useful video. See you. Let's get started. So let's begin. So first of all, what you have to do is to take your measurement of the hip. A hip measurement is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give you 8.5. 8.5 plus 5 will give you 13.5. Then you're going to add your seam allowance. Everything in total that I'm going to be using is 16. Can you see that? 16. Okay, so let's get started. This is the reason why we did that is because of the A shape, so that it will give you a nice flare A shape, not so big, but you can add more than 5 if you choose to, but for me I think 5 will do. Okay, so let's start from the neck. The shoulder is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So I'm just going to mark that. So after marking that here, I hope you can see that. So after marking that, I'm going to divide the armhole by 2. Our armhole measurement is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I'll come down here and I'll measure 8 down to this point. So which is from this place to here is also my chest measurements. So you draw your line using your ruler. So after doing that, you get your bust measurement. Your bust measurement is, our bust measurement is 32. 32 divided by 4 will give me 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. So we come here and mark. Okay, we're going to add in 2 as my seam allowance, which will give me 10 in total. So like so, you're going to draw your line, a straight line to connect. Okay. So I can see a little slight mistake. Okay, this is 7. Yeah. And this is a little bit slant. So I'm just going to take back this and let it connect to this 7 here. Okay. So the line will be straight. Okay, so that we'll have a good armhole. That's that. So after you've done that, you take your half length measurement. Our half length measurement is 14. Okay, this is it. And her waist measurement which is our waist measurement is 26. That's 26 divided by 4. 26 divided by 4 is 6.5. So we're just going to make it 7 because we want the gown to be a little bit free. So it's going to be like 7.5 plus 2. 7.5 plus 2 will give me 9.5. So we're going to add 1 inch here too. Okay. So the gown, we just add half an inch here. So the gown will be 3. Okay. Then connect. This is how it looks like when you connect. I'm sure you can see it clearly. Now it's time for you to make your armhole. But before you make your armhole, you're going to take in 1 inch downward to get your shoulder slope. And you're going to make in your neck measurements. For this neck, we're going to be using a standard measurement of 3 and 2 downward because we're going to be using a collar, so you don't want the neck to be so wide. So 2 downward. Connect. So you don't have to use your French curl, but if you want to, you can use your French curl. But this way is easy for me to just curve it once I've made a rectangle or square shape. So this is a rectangle shape because this is measured 2 and 3. So now I'm going to get the half measurement of the armhole. The half measurement is 3.5. So I'm going to measure, taking half, and then I'm going to get my armhole measurements like this. Make my armhole curve. Okay. So after getting my armhole curve, I'm going to get in my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch downward. This is so that your shoulder can balance well, because you know your shoulder is not straight. No one's shoulder is straight, so it gives this part fitting, and it makes your clothes balance. Okay. So once you've done this, you're going to draw out your flare. But don't forget the length of the gown. I'm going to make it the length 38, but I'm adding 2 inches to it, which should give me 40. So the length of the gown is going to be 40. So 40, I'm going to the line. This way, like this. And then I'm going to use my ruler to connect from the waist to the line I will. Okay, like so. The next thing now I'll be doing is to cut this out. So this is how it looks like when you're done cutting. So I'm going to be placing this front on top of the back, and then we're going to be getting the front and back. We'll do the same for the lining, and this is what it looks like when you place it on the back fabric. And we're going to be cutting it out, but note, I place in 1 inch here when placing this front on the back. So you can notice that there is 1 inch, and this 1 inch here is for the zip allowance. We're going to be tracing this and cutting this up to here and down to here, and we'll follow through to the neck part of it, and we'll cut it out. After cutting it out, we're going to be separating this from this, and then we're going to also cut it out straight from the down. We'll start from the down. I'll cut down right through to the hub. So the back is supposed to be like 2, and then the front is just 1 because it's unfold. So it's very important that you separate this, because this is where you're going to be having your zip, and that was why we left 1 inch for allowance, so that we can add in our zip. So the zip enable you to wear your dress without any cuts. So this is the back, and this is the front. Next, we're going to be cutting the sleeve and also the collar. I'm going to place the lining down and place the fabric on top of the lining. Then I'm going to cut it out to get my front lining, but the length of the lining will not be same with the dress, so it's going to be shorter. So okay, I'm going to be doing the same for the back. This is it. I'll do the same for the back. So this is how it looks like, and I'm going to trace it to get my back. Using the lining, using the dress I've already cut out. So I'm just going to cut from here. Okay, I don't want the lining to be the same length with the dress, so that's why I'm cutting from here. And continue by cutting here. Back lining is also ready. Next, I'll be cutting my sleeve. So the length of my sleeve, I've already folded this into 4. Okay, because I want to cut both sleeves at once. So set. Since our armhole is 16, so 16 divided by 2 will give me 8 plus 1.5 or 1 inch seam allowance, that is 9. Okay, so this is all I'll be needing. So I'm going to measure from here to here 4. I'm also going to measure from here to here like 3. Okay. And then going to connect from here. I'm going to connect to this side, okay, down to the side, and then sleeve is going to be 6 plus 1, that is 7. So I'm going to connect from this side down to the side. Cut this out first. So this is it. So this is the sleeve. Next I'm going to be attaching the zip to the back of the dress. So before I attach the zip to this dress, I'm going to take my measurements to see where the zip stop, and then I'll stitch from here downwards. So I'll start connecting the zip from here down to this place, and then the other part too. So show you. So the zip has been attached. The next, we're going to be putting the front, placing it on the front, placing the front on the back, and then we'll stitch the sides from here down. Don't forget, we took 2-inch seam allowance, so we're going to be starting with 2. We'll measure 2 here, and we'll take in the 2-inch seam allowance that we've added, then we'll stitch downward. After we're done with this, we're going to be doing the same with the lining, okay? Although I've stitched both sides, but I feel like adding a pocket width, okay? I just feel like adding a pocket width since it's a free gown, and it'd be nice for her to just dip in her hands inside a pocket. So to do that, I'm going to measure 20 downwards, 20 from here, let's just say 19, and I'm going to mark it. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'll measure 19 and mark from the shoulder side. Okay, so I'm going to put in to have the pockets. I'll lose from here to where the pocket will stop, and then I'll stitch round through. So this is how I'm going to, easy way to cut out your pocket. So this is just a little piece of fabric that is out of the material. So this is part of the fabric. So I place my hand in here and just like this, bending it, and then I'll give in some space and I'll draw. The fabric is so light, so it's just moving. Okay. I'm sure you did not see the line I traced. I'm just going to cut it out so you see how it looks like in my hand for that. Okay. So I'm just going to place this on top of fabric and make 3 other similar shape of this. This will serve as my pocket. So made 4 of it, 2 for the left and 2 for the right. So next I'm going to be showing you the lining. So note, if I'm going to be adding pockets to the gown, there is no need for me to give in any space in the lining. And as you can see, I've taken 1 inch so that I can attach this part of this seam allowance, the zip seam allowance, to the gown itself. Okay, so after now I'm going to show you how I attached my pockets to the gown. Okay, now I've fixed the pocket. This is how it looks. Okay, first of all, I attached it through here. After attaching the pocket to it, I sewed it round. After I finished sewing it round, I loosed this place that I've already sewn. So I make sure I double stitch this place so that it won't lose when she's dipping her hand into her pocket. So it's very important to do that. Okay, so this is it. Next, I'm going to be attaching my lining to my clothes, and yeah, this is it here. So before you do that, you have to turn the lining inside out. Okay, so that this will be the part that I'll be showing as the front part of the lining. You place it on the clothes, and this is the back of the dress. So you place the neck on it and you just stitch it that way. So the reason why we're doing it this way is because we're adding a collar to it. Okay, it enables us to add color to it effectively. Okay, I'm just going to top stitch this and we will do the other part, and then we're going to be cutting out our collar. So I did the same for the back. I top stitched the back, but I left 1 inch so that I'll be able to attach it to the zip properly. So I'm making everywhere look neat. So I'm hiding all the stitches, all the seam allowance inside. So for me to be able to do that, I have to leave 1 inch allowance at the zip side. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is it, the 1 inch seam allowance I left here to enable me to be able to attach this lining to the zipper. Okay, so next, before I'll cut out my collar, I'm going to connect the shoulder to your shoulder, and this is how I'll do it. I will just hold both fronts and connect it like this, and I'll turn it the other way to the lining. Okay, let me come again. So this is the front of the dress. Okay, this is the other front of the dress. I'm going to put them together this way and then turn the other lining. So the dress will be connected to the other dress, whereas the back of the dress will be connected to the front of the dress, while the back of the sleeve, the back of the lining will be connected to the front of the lining. So lining to each other and front to each other. Okay. So another trick after connecting this is that this parts I had to skip this place so that when I turn it to the other side, here will automatically pop out. Okay, so it will look this way. Looks this way. So this is the shoulder. This is the shoulder. So this is it. It's pop out here. So when connecting the collar, you'll be able to stitch right through from this zip part to the neck down to the other zipper part of it. Okay, so same, I did the same in the other shoulder, so it's easy. So this is the neck round when you turn it to the front. You see how it looks like. Okay, just want to show you how the neck look like. So before, we're going to attach the collar to it and the sleeve, and then we are done. So this is the pocket. Yeah, I can put some money here. Wow. This is nice. So now we're using this fabric to get our collar. So what we're going to do is to measure from up downward. This is 8. I'm going to be using 8 as my measurements. Okay, I'll separate these two because we're doing 2 collar. The neck of the collar of the gown, when measured round, is 17. So I measured round like this. I got 17. More like 17 and half divided by 2. Okay, measurement showed 17.5, so divided by 2, I will get 8.75. So I have my 2 collars, one for the right side and the other one for the left side. So I'm going to fold it into this way. You can decide to just put it inside and fold it. So after you finish folding it, you fold it on the other side again and take your measurements. 8.75 divided by 2 give me 4.375. So I'm going to locate my 4.375 here and mark it, and then draw a straight line towards the side. So I'm going to be cutting it slant to this part, and then just cut half an inch out of this to look this way. Next, I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to first of all notch it so that I won't make mistake while cutting. Okay, done one side of it. The other side of it. So this is the neck part where you're going to use to connect to the gown. But first, I'm also going to cut this on my interface. So I have an interface. I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to make double of this on my interface. Then I will leave this aside to press it so that it can stick to it. Okay, so let's just keep this aside first and then come to our sleeve. Okay, so for my sleeve, I'm going to be attaching this to this so that I can have a white material at the down of it. It's just like a style on its own. It makes it look beautiful. Okay, so I'll do that for the second sleeve. And while I connect this, I'm going to sew it this other way and then complete my sleeve by sewing it this way. This is how it will look like when you done attaching it. So I'll do this first, then I'll come back to complete the collar. Okay, done for both sleeve. So you can just turn it inside out this way. First sleeve. Okay. And same with the other sleeve. So we're done with both sleeves. But before we fix in our collar, we need to attach the lining. We need to attach the lining to the zip. Okay, I'll do that and I'll show you what it looks like. So before I attach the lining to the zip or to the dress, I first of all stitch the 1 inch that I left. I stitched it after turning it the other way inside out. So this is it. I turn it this way, see the back, and then I stitch the top of it. After I finish stitching the top on one side of the zip, I stitch down through it, adding hemming gum to it, so that when I press it, it's just going to stick to the clothes and it will not be moving here and there. Okay, so I did the same for the other side. So I'm just going to turn it inside out to show you how it looks like. So this is the final look. You see how neat it looks. Okay, so once I press it, because of the hemming gum that is inside, it's just going to stay flat like this. So then I'll show you how I fix my collar to the dress. I need to press the interfacing to my collar, and then I'll press my dress Then I'll fix in the collar round through the neck. I'm fixing my zip. I'm fixing my sleeve. So once I'm done with these 3 stages, just 3 things left: pressing my collar to the collar, and pressing my interface to the collar, and then fixing my zip, my sleeve, and the collar round the neck. Then I'll be done with the dress. Now we've added our interface, we've ironed it, and we've sewn it. We've sewn the three sides of it, but we left here open because we're going to be turning it inside out. Okay, this part that is curved, that we took 1/2 inch, will be at the neck of the dress. Okay, so before cutting it, for me now, what I used to do before turning it, I make sure I just remove the sharp edges. This will make it not to be too sharp, and it will enable me to turn it well. So this is what I usually do with all my colors. Okay, then I'll turn. So the part that I added my interface is what will be facing the front. So now that I'm done turning both with just a little object like this, I just use it to bring it out. I'm going to be stitching it this way. I'll top stitch it. So I'll use my machine now. I'm going to top stitch it, and I'll show you how it looks like before I add it to my dress. So we're done stitching it. So next we're going to attach it to our gown. So you remember the space I left on the shoulder when we were turning it. So you're going to stitch it together so that the neck will not be open or too wide. So you stitch it, you just close the small part on your shoulder, and then you turn your clothes inside out. So this is the back of the dress. Turn it inside out, and then you place the back on it from the neck down to the front. Okay, you're going to pin it, and then you do the same for the other side, for the other one. Okay, going to place it back. So you remember the back is the part that does not have interface. So you're going to place it, you're going to overlap it a little, like let's just say 1 cm, if you know what I mean. 1 cm. The other part of the tape, you get your cm measurement if you are using your tape. Okay, or 1/2 inch, or let's say 1/4 inch, not up to 1/2 inch. So you're going to overlap it. Overlap it this way a little, then you stitch. You're going to pin it round. So we're done pinning it. We're going to stitch it round, and then turn the cloth inside out so you can see how it looks. So we're done stitching it. Next we're going to add our sleeve. We're going to add our sleeve. Okay, look at it, take a look at it. So this part that you stitched from the sleeve, the top arm of the sleeve, you're going to open here. This is the line. You try, your cloth is torn, So you zip it and look at it, take a look at it. The sleeve too is turned to the front, the clothes is turned facing the back. So you're going to zip the sleeve into the armhole this way. This is the line where the sleeve was attached or was closed. So you're going to connect the sleeve line to the dress line, this part here. Okay, I'm sure you can see it. So you see this part that I know the lining is covering it. So if there was no lining, you see the way it will look like, but because there's lining, is this way. So you're going to join both lining and both sleeve together this way. Make sure each line are touching each other, and for you to be accurate, it's good for you to be accurate so that your sleeve will not be looking somehow. So you make sure that the line are touching each other, so the part that you sewed it are touching each other, and then you either pin it or tack it round and then sew it on your machine. So I'm done stitching both sleeve. Stitched it round, and also did the second part of it. I stitched it round, repeating the same thing I did here for the other sleeve. So I'm going to turn it. So this is the complete dress with lining and the pocket and the collar. In order to have a complete dress, I stitched the down of the dress round, folding it into two, and I stitched it round. Okay, I did the same for the lining. Okay, and for the sleeve, you can see how it looks, the line connecting the shoulder from the top right through the down. So it just looks as if it wasn't attached separately, because the line follows each other. Okay, because I pinned it. So it's very good for you when you're sewing your dress. You make sure the line is accurate, everything is following each other, so that to have a neat job and a very nice dress at the end of the day. So this is it. This is the final look of the dress. I hope you like what you see. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share to your friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.